Launch sequence activated. Accessing.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are on day 2. This is Tuesday. Welcome to Computer Science Week. I am Bradford Harris, Tinker Tech EDU, EdTech Tinker on all your social media channels. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. If you're new to the channel this week, we are on Twitch and YouTube streaming for Computer Science Week Game Edition, where we have a great list of guest hosts. Yesterday, we kicked it off learning about women in tech and startups and gaming analytics, Gamelytics. So that was great. But today, I am even super excited because this is one of my very best friends. Now, for you guys on the screen, you call he's called JP, but I call him P. And he is the reason why, even when you see and as I'm talking, I'm getting everything all prepped up and ready. I know he's listening. But he's the reason why when you see the stream on in the beginning, that little caricature, people always ask, where you get that from? That's so neat, that's so cool. Or when I pull out my card at conferences, where you get that artwork from? It is from this guy right here. He is the reason why he pushes me to be at my very best when it comes to putting stuff out on LinkedIn, when it comes to artwork, when it comes to video creation. I do have a video background. He has way more than I do, but we're gonna talk more. Let me go ahead and bring him on screen. Everybody, please welcome JP Larios. I call him P, so everybody just welcome P. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here. You sitting there cutting up in the background. But I'm not gonna lie, it is so true. You don't know when people ask about my streams, and we're talking about streams on Canva. So my streams, they ask about the artwork, and they say, well, where'd you get that from? Who did it? And it's you. And it's about time that I have you on here, because what I tell people is I don't play those little cartoon games anymore. People are like, what? I'm like, no, I have somebody that I pay to do my artwork because it's time to upskill. Which is one of my new words that I learned from a friend of mine. It's time to step it up, and then it's time to do my artwork. Now, I don't do those drawings. I love to learn. You got all those great videos out there, but you're the reason why I step it up. You're the reason why I step it up. And so when I brought you on here, we're talking about streaming and we're talking about overlays, and the conversation was about, well, you do all of these great things. And before we get into that, I do want to get into your background really quick. But before we get into that, overlays and graphics, they're part of computer science. And that's what I was talking about with our last host yesterday. There's this other side of computer science that people don't think about, and that's the gaming side of it, the streaming, the overlays, the analytics of gaming, all of those things. So for you, tell everybody your background, because your background is amazing.
What it do, EdTech crew? My name is Pablo, or as Bradford calls me, the letter P. But a little bit about myself. Let's see. I went to art school. I dove into art school thinking I could draw, and realized really quick I could doodle. So I like to say I got thrown into the tank with the sharks, and I had to learn how to swim and defend myself. So I leveled my skills up and have been working at them ever since. So I grabbed my degree, Bachelor of Science in Media Arts and Animation. So like this graphic design stuff, who would have thunk it, right? Like that's what I was doing in community college. I was like, well, let me figure out what I want to do. And then I realized I like drawing and I like cartoons. So I followed that path. So, the hard work paid off. Luckily I got to play a little stint behind the scenes at this studio that got bought out by Stars Media, was known as Film Roman, who used to manage The Simpsons and King of the Hill. So I got a behind the scenes crack there. I got a little stint at Atari, thanks to my hard work and getting along with people. One of my teachers in art school was an art director there. He's like, hey, yo, P. Actually, in art school, they called me Superman. So he's like, yo, hey, Soups. He's like, I got a project. He's like, what do you think? Would you be down to do this project? And I was like, yeah, let's do this. I'm like, shaking in my boots, scared completely that I'm jumping into kind of concept work at Atari. And I'm like, dang, I got to do it. That's the only way to know if I'm going to succeed. And so I took the leap, and nowadays I'm a teacher and I get to share all my knowledge and all my connections with my students, whether it's in the graphic design world or the esports scene. I get to share that knowledge, man. So it's one, thank you for having me on today, man. I know we go back and forth. You're the homie, I'm the homie. And so I appreciate that. But it's going to be fun, man. Even our pre-session today was already getting warmed up and heated. So I was like,
oh,
all right,
man,
this is going to be good.
Y'all just don't know. And I, oh gosh. And for the people who know me, he knows me very well, but the people who know me and the stuff that that I talk about, like we did get kind of heated. And so I'm going to try to tone it down because we're very passionate people when it comes to things like this.
Yes.
And so we started going in on a couple of things like this and this and that is that. But yeah, I don't want to downplay, like you say, I'm just a teacher. Like, no. Like, y'all don't understand the connections. When I talked to this guy, we first met at NASEF. And so we were fellows together, right? We were fellows. Yes. And so that power of connection is really big. And then he just politely just name dropped the stuff that he does. I'm like, you did this, like, and you're teaching kids? Like, the fact that he brought that back to kids is even more amazing. And then he does all of these drawings, and I stopped and went, do some drawings for me. Can you do this for me? Like, I'll pay you, yeah, folks. He charges, and he does very excellent work. I'm just putting that out there. I mean, I hate to make this sound. I hate to make this sound like it's a promo, but like the work that you do is very amazing. But
thank you.
I want to get into what it means to create. Yes, he is the GOAT.
Yes, Dr. Harvey, how you doing?
What does it mean to create an overlay? What people are seeing right now is we're talking about Canva. We're talking for overlay. So everybody, what you're seeing right now on my screen is all done in Canva. Okay, I'm going to be the first to admit, and I know he talks to me all the time, like, you got to go next level. You got to do this and this, and I'm working on that. Bradford is working on that. But all of this is done in Canva. Every time you see me stream every other Sunday or streams like this is the ending result out of it. But and then P will talk to me on the side, like, here are some principles that you need to think about when you're putting those things out there. So what are some principles that we need to think about when it comes to creating an overlay, no matter what application we're using?
Okay, we'll keep it simple, right? There's this acronym that I heard in the graphic design world that I'm somehow connected to. It goes by KISS, and it breaks down to keep it simple, stupid. So the reality is you don't, we all want to go and do like the craziest things and put all kinds of movements into our starts and into our in-game overlays and all that fun stuff, right? But the reality is you want to keep it simple. Like the more you add, the more it can lag your stream, the more it can like slow down your computer. So you want to keep it simple, keep it on brand. If you have like a logo and a color scheme that you work with, cool. Look at all the awesome content creators out there, right? I'm gonna name drop Ninja. He has his own brand, his own logos, his 2-3 colors that he uses. You look at anyone from NRG or 100 Thieves, they'll use their orange, their red throughout their schemes to let them know that they're connected to this organization. Look when we like back in the day when we used to stream with Nasif, right? The Nasif logo was on there, the green, the orange, the blue, those were all incorporated part of the branding, right? So everyone keeps it as simple as possible. And again, you don't want anything too busy because it's distracting. Too busy, again, can slow down your computer. And if your computer isn't built for streaming, then that's the last thing you want to do, right? You want to keep everything as simple as possible, but make it look pretty. And you don't have to do a lot to make it look pretty. A good set of types or fonts, typefaces to lay it all out, laying them out correctly, what's going to stand out, what do you want people to catch first, and then, go from there. But keep it simple.
I think that's the thing. No matter what organization we're in, I think we all want to compare ourselves to like Steven Spielberg or George Lucas or Ninja or Beast. Yeah. We want to like the first time out the gate. I mean, I'm guilty of this. The first time out the gate, we want to do the most. Yes. We want to make sure we already act like we have 1 million followers. I mean, we're trying to get to that point where we want to do it like that. So you're saying keep it simple, stupid, or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the hard part is we want that. So how do we control that? And I know what you're going to say, but I'm also going to tag it to this. It is all a part of what equipment that you also have.
Yes.
But how do we hold ourselves back from like trying not to be so Steven Spielberg or Ninja or whoever out the gate?
I think the problem is it's not even a problem, right? The thing is that out the gate, we're going to want to go big, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to fail to succeed. So you're going to see what worked and you're going to see what doesn't work. Now, if we go back and talk about the Ninjas, the Mr. Beasts, those people, they have a team that work for them now. That is their job is to set up and design everything so it's fluid and it matches on brand, right? But just reflect back to it. Keep it simple. Like you don't want to overwhelm it. And of course, like we just said, we're going to go big and we're going to fail, but then we're going to know what worked from that failure. And that's part of anything in life, right? Is to fail and then learn from that.
That's the same thing I talked about with Kui yesterday. It's like, it aligns with a tech startup. When you start this stuff, Mr. Beast wasn't always Mr. Beast. Ninja wasn't always Ninja. They all started this, but for the most part, and I don't mean to call them out, but we all started with one person. I'm only one person. You're only one person. And then at some point you do get a team. Yeah. And so like, you think as one person, I want to be everything, but you want to, you're the producer, director, the writer, the financial person. I said this last night. You're all of these things, but you also want to, but you're trying to also be Steven Spielberg too. And you realize you just can't do it all. So your acronym of KISS is a reality check. Like, okay, I just need to put my content out there to see what's going to work. Yeah. So I do love that. So where should educators start when it's time to start doing it?
When it starts to start doing it, now the educators should ask themselves, am I doing this for fun or is this going to be a living? Am I going to step into that realm where I'm going to be that educator content creator? Right? Because then you have to start, if that's the route you're going to go, if you're going to go like big right out the bat, then you're going to have to start thinking about color schemes, your name, because you have to have something catchy, right? Not everyone can be an educated Lobo. Like that sounds cool already. But it all has to make sense. And it has to have a plan. So, it all starts with a plan and ambition.
Right. And then, like, how do you decide what application you want to use?
So I'm gonna say, if you're starting off fresh, like, there's no funding, obviously, in the education world. We all make tons of money.
We're balling.
So we keep it simple, right? You know, either we search and scavenge the resources that Canva has. Shout out to Canva. I know I have a connection out there. I don't even know if they know that I'm on this right now talking about Canva, but I have a buddy through the X Sphere that works at Canva and is based out of Houston, out of Texas now, right? So shout out to Canva.
Is it the same buddy that I'm thinking about too?
I don't know. He moved from California to Texas to do this job for Canva.
Oh, okay.
So
is he in Austin?
Probably.
It might be the same person we're thinking about.
Yeah. So small world. But yeah, look through the resources that are available, right? Because Canva, I know him too. Good job, Team Unicorn. Look through the resources that they have, and you know what? Here, let's look through the resources right now, right? We're talking about it.
Let me go ahead and
let me share my screen with you all.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me go on ahead and do my famous transition slide. Oh my goodness! No, you did not just do the Wayne's World. All right, so here we are on your Canva screen.
So we're on Canva, right? Again, lovely world of resources. I can type in the top and go stream overlays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna get a plethora of stuff, which is cool. And some of them have movement already. Some of them are static. Like this one has some subtle movement on the top left. This is a good start page, right? But it also depends on what you want to do. Luckily, I want to say maybe 90% of these are editable to some extent, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's say something simple. Let's look at Avery, something simple, right? So let's go customize this template. And it should take us to another window. Woo! So we're here we're at, right? Perfect template. You have a chat box, you have a window that can either be your camera as you're talking, like we're talking right now, or it can be what we're sharing. So I can put my screen in here, but that's more details to teach you guys later. That's a whole nother lesson in conversation. But this is a good placeholder. This is a good foundation to get yourself started. Now, if I click the background, you guys notice that I get my edit along the top. I can change the colors. So if I know what my color schemes are, like Bradford, you're in that purple phase, man. You're in those purples. So I can go start picking some purples, adjusting the colors, and trying to get it to play a little bit more. Obviously, the color range is kind of limited unless you know the codes up here. This right here, for my designers out there, this is known as a hex code. It's the magical digital code in the web world that will give you the color scheme. So if you know those hex codes, you can just type them in there and have a plethora, right? Or we can hit the little rainbow and be like, you know what? I need another purple. Something maybe darker to fit in with the background. And then you can start seeing I'm kind of customizing this already to like your color scheme in a sense. And then I'll go from there.
Right. That means I gotta charge you.
You know.
Just kidding. No, but also another thing too is like if you're, and we're gonna put the district hat on, the campus hat on. You're using this as a district account on because a lot of people use this for their campus account.
Yes.
Pulling in those when you're pulling in those logos, when you're clicking on it, it will extract like here are those color logos.
So for example, here's my esports logo I designed for my program. I will drag it into the document.
Right. And
then I can place it somewhere. Obviously, it's a little bit on the ginormous side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna hold Alt on the keyboard to crop it a little bit, and then I could shrink it. Right. So I'm gonna put that in the bottom corner. Now, if I go click on the background and I hit the colors, it extracted the colors from my logo. So now I can customize it to my school theme, my school colors.
Right.
And then go that route. So boom, which is the cool part, that Canva does that for you. Obviously, if we're in the Adobe super realm, then I can just, like we did over here, click here and then sample colors from wherever, same concept.
Right.
But again, just starting off, this is probably your easiest way to get yourself started. To find a layout that works, customize it to your colors, and then ta-da, you're set to start. You're set to start building. You're set to start going next level and see where it takes you. Again, passion and commitment.
Is this all a beginner needs, no matter if you're Canva or anywhere else? Like, again, everybody who's watching, you saw, like, my personal preference is I give everybody a countdown to get you prepped, get you ready. So anybody that knows me, when I say we start at 6 a.m. No, I don't stream at 6 a.m. I might. But if I'm saying we start at 6 p.m., I'm doing a countdown at 10 minutes till, just to get your mind right, just to get you relaxed, just to get you all ready. And so I have that nice little thing at the beginning just to set up. But is this all people need to do at the beginning? Like, what do you recommend that they automatically just start with?
You know,
and disclaimer, that took me some time to say, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm gonna be honest, you know, do you need a timer? Not always. You can just have a screen that says starting soon, and you can give yourself a mental timer and be like, all right, 3 minutes, I'm gonna transition, and now I'm live. So do you need to go that full route? No, not necessarily. And like, for example, I was tinkering because you know I love to draw and I'm an artist, I think. So
no, you're an artist.
Let me go back if it lets me. Come on. So I started tinkering with this because I wanted to try to figure it out a little bit more. So I went the comic book route, found some elements in Canva, cornered them out, adjusted the colors, because even some of these elements you can change the colors. Some of them you cannot. And I found a simple font, something a little comic booky, a little cartoony, and then I added an effect to it. But you can start here. Something as simple as this. Like, you don't have to go out and do the fancy electronic neon waves moving for you. Like, you're starting off right now. Start off. And then you start to build your vibe. Then you start to discover who you are on this side of the world, on this realm. And then you might have some monies because people are going to start subscribing and throwing bits at you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What I noticed at the bottom, though, too, is that you have how long you want it to play, the duration of how long you want it to happen. So is this one animated or is just a static?
So if I hit play, it should do this once. I haven't looped it, and then it'll go into what my next screen would be like.
Okay. So is that one for is that one for the starting soon one, or would be just for the?
This is now we transition. We're live. There's a box for my chat. There's a box for me to be talking to the community as I'm talking about what we're doing today. You know, front loading them in a sense, and then I can have another window that's probably a little bit more open, less busy for whatever it is I'm doing. If I'm designing, then I'm not gonna take up as much of the space, so you can see my whole design software. If I'm gaming, then I'm gonna leave space so you can actually see the game and not be distracted of the actual gameplay as we talk through it. But again, it's all depending on which routes we're taking when we're diving into this realm, right? Because then we're gonna design our overlays based off the needs that we need to fit for ourselves.
Got it. So can you show me other examples that you have, or any other ideas that or actually could you do on the fly and like adding to that? I'm putting you on the spot.
Ooh, on the spot?
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
On the fly, we have this kind of set up, right? You know, here, let's just clear it out. Say we're creating the overlay because now we're in game. Now I'm playing, or I'm designing in this case, right? So I can tell you off the bat, I could probably shrink down my actual window that holds my design software.
Okay.
And then I can go into the elements and be like, you know what? I need a border. Something cool. That's probably too busy. That's definitely too busy, especially if I'm trying to teach you something. Let's look at the basic ones, right? I could probably do something like this. And if you guys notice, it says EDU. I'm using my school account, so I get more access. If you don't have that access, you're gonna have to pay for it. So, I'll put this element, but I'm gonna make it smaller because I do not want it to take away from my design software. I'll clone it. I'll move it to the top because I kind of want corners, right? So I'll flip it. Boom, boom. Get it there. So we kind of have like a frame, right? And then if I wanted to put like socials and stuff like that, I'll go back into my elements. And I need a rectangle. If I could spell it correctly. Oh, and now it just disappeared. Come on now. Boom. I don't need a template. I just need rectangles. There we go. Cool. So I can pick from the graphics. They have photos. They have videos. Again, the video parts might be a little too distracting from what we're doing. So maybe we'll just go back and we'll use a normal shape, right? Or in this case, a rectangle. This will do. I kind of like that scratchiness. It's kind of artistic. And then, of course, change the color, right? So I'm going to borrow the blues from that we've already used. And then I could put like this information down there with some text.
Got it.
And then I'll add a heading. Boom. And then we'll shrink it down and then move it to the bottom. And then obviously the colors don't work too well because it's like a dark blue with a black. So then we go along the top, we change the color, maybe a little white to make it pop. I only changed the letter I, so let's double click on all of it. So now it should be white if I click off of it. And then at this point, we can change our fonts. I think everything in Canva by default, it gives you this Canva sans. So then we can go through and find whatever works out for me. Like I typically, because of the esports stuff that I design, I'll use Horizon or League Spartan because they have like that gamer vibe. And Horizon also has outline form version of it. So the inside's not solid. You have a white outline of the letters or whatever color it is that you want. And if you get to that point where you have branded fonts, like your school districts uploaded all the data you need, then you'll have all that there. So I'll pick something that represents me. Let's see. And this is the hardest part. I'll be honest. In design, choosing the right typeface is one of the hardest things in the world because you're like, ooh, that one, I like that one. But then, ooh, I like that one. So it's just like you can get lost. It's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole.
It is a rabbit hole.
So I'm gonna go modular, and then I need to shrink it because it's too big. And now it's just way too big. So it's
as you're making this P, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Do you go on paper? Like we're all in this text space, in this digital space, but do you actually go on paper and go, you know what? I want to sketch out what my stream overlay might look like. I have an idea, but because sometimes like things like this can get overwhelming because there's so many choices.
Yes.
But like in my mind, and I haven't done this, but now that I'm talking it through with you, I'm like, maybe I want to sit down and like draw my layout. It's not going to look exactly like what I'm looking at in the digital format, but it's giving me that like blueprint from paper to screen. Yes. Do you do that?
Every now and then I will, or as you guys know, like I go Superman when I design. So like I'll go into Adobe Photoshop and I'll lay things out and start tinkering and be like, what does this square look like here? What does this line look like here? What is this text? What if this paintbrush looks like here? Because obviously we don't really have like full paintbrushes in Canva. Yeah, you see, not really. I could point. Cool.
I've never used the whiteboard, the whiteboard features. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, I haven't either. But
I wonder what those would do. I have to try it.
It gave me a line.
Okay.
So all the way live, guys. So like I said, I guess even in here we can start playing with shapes, right? Like, oh, cool. That might work there. This could work here for my face cam. Maybe this face cam layout of whatever I'm working on.
Okay, so we had a conversation off camera. We're not gonna go in. We're not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
But you just pulled up the whiteboard feature and you pulled these shapes instantly. Now, one thing I will say is sometimes I like when I'm getting really into it, I'm always trying to find the shapes really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know how you just try to like find rectangle? Like, God, I just need rectangle.
Yeah.
But going into whiteboard, I just need this, and you pulled it up really quickly.
Yep.
This could help real quickly as you're building this. So I never thought about doing it like this.
Gotta love those tools.
but you were just doing that on the fly. I don't even think you were thinking about that either.
No.
So I just that's
Spidey sense.
Yeah, I never thought about using the whiteboard tools that are in Canva to say, you know what, I just need a quick square and it's right here instead of going into the element part
and grabbing squares and
Yeah, it's already in there, or I can use the sticky note to be even fancier. Okay, I learned something new today.
So yeah, you see, I can give it a border. Can I turn the color off? Oh yeah, I can turn the color off. So I don't want a black border. Let's give it blue. Oh no! I said blue border. There we go. Turn that off. So like I said, these are all placeholders as we're working out the ideas, right?
Yeah.
And depending on the intricacy of your stream and what you have going, because as you get out there and you start seeing which platforms will work with your stream better, or what platform you're going to use to stream, let's clarify that, right? Because we can design all this, but then what, right? Where are we going to take that? And like I said earlier, it's a whole another different discussion. But some of those platforms allow you to add extras, add some engagement opportunities. So at the same time, you're like, well, I have my chat box here. That's one form of engagement, as some of you guys are already using the chat to talk with us today. What if I want to chat just for like all my emotes to pop in? Well, shoot, maybe I need another square for that. So maybe I put them here. Like they'll go right next to the chat. Or maybe, again, because we're on the fly, maybe it goes over the chat. So as you're getting chat messages, you're getting emotes popping up like, oh, dude, this is popping. This is fire. This is hype. Wow, look at what's going on here. So tons, like, being able to mess with the tools like this gives us that blueprint, that brainstorming session that we're having right now.
Yeah. And what I like what you did here is that this is your kiss moment right here.
Yeah.
Because and I don't want to take away from the other stuff that you did, but like just starting out and the fact that we discovered you can just go into whiteboard, and here I just use this simple little border thing for the two end corners, put that there. I got a pretty little brush thing. I put my name here, and I have these 1, 2, 3 squares. Here is a simple thing, and I'm done, and I'm ready to get started.
Yeah.
That's already step 1.
Yep.
I didn't even do that. I want to be team too much. Y'all know me in the chat. Y'all know me in these streams. I'm team too much, and I want to be not Superman. I want to be Justice League. And I want to do all this stuff, but at the time, this was not available. So I'm sitting here going in and looking at where's my square, where's my fancy this, where's my fancy fancy that. But for those who are just starting out, those simple shapes are very helpful.
Yeah. So if you're let's rewind a little bit, right? This is our keep it simple moment, right? So if we're going to create a document, you want to make sure it's 1920 by 1080. You want to keep it simple. You don't want to go 4K. You don't want to go 8K. 1920 by 1080 is usually like the source feed that is pushed out by YouTube and Twitch. So keep it 1920 by 1080. Create yourself a canvas like we just did right here. And then, again, use the tools and start, what if I put this here? What if I put that there? The idea at the end of the day is you want to be able to lead your viewer through your stream. So, hey, I'm right here, or I'm right here, and here's what I'm working on. Here's where we can have the conversation. All right, let's flip it. Now this is what it's going to look like when I take over the full screen with whatever that we're doing, right? With what I'm teaching, gaming, whatever it is, we create that concept.
Okay, so as a beginner, I know we always talk about the mistakes or whatnot, but what are some things that we should avoid when we're first starting out?
First starting out, trying to do too much. For sure, trying to do too much. Like I said, keep it simple. I think when I first set up my original, when I first started streaming pre-COVID, I kept it simple. Like, I think I had one thing animated, and even to try to figure out how to do that, it was definitely a learning educational moment. But I kept it simple, like simple starting soon. My socials, so if people are new to the stream, they know how to follow me and keep in contact. And then a simple, the next page wasn't busy, kind of simple like this right here. Nothing too out of the ordinary, because I want to show you what I'm actually doing. I want no distractions. I want you guys to be locked into what I'm doing.
Got it. And what about streaming to multiple streams? Like, how do you feel about that?
It doesn't hurt. Now that we have the option these days to be able to stream to YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all in one shot, do it. Like, why not use those resources when they're free 99?
Now I'm gonna put another challenge to you. This was not what we talked about, but it just popped into my head. So I'm so sorry. We are in the Instagram generation and the TikTok generation.
Yep.
So, and you can stream on there. So what would those look like? Because I've jumped into those spaces, and of course my overlays have got to look different. They obviously can't look, they can look to a degree like this, but they have to look a little different because they're shown on a smaller screen, but I have to have that content up. So what would that look like?
All right. So we know how we talked about 1920 by 1080.
Yes.
We flip it 1080 by 1920. So instead of this way, it goes this way. So here we go, right? Based on my experience from seeing what other people have done, usually what they end up doing is they might host their camera along the top to show their face, and then they might do the gameplay below. So the rest of the screen will be the gameplay.
Okay. And the tricky part is framing the gameplay on that. That's the tricky part.
That it is, because obviously it's going to cut off. Like, for example, if you're playing Fortnite, your character is going to be the main center of the screen.
Okay.
So you can just focus it on that realm, right, dead center. Because as you move, the whole environment's going to move. You don't have to worry about that square that you just set up for your live to be moving. Like, it's that character is what we're following. That's who we're staring at.
Didn't think about that. So when we're dealing with the type of game, the type of gameplay, that's how we need to center it.
Yeah.
Or frame it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about our chats? Do you feel that chats are needed in frames like this?
No.
Why not?
It's going to take away. You're adding more craziness.
Okay.
You're adding more to the pot of a perfectly delicious soup.
Okay. That was for y'all. That was a for me question. I needed to know, like, okay, because I got the chat in there because in Streamlabs, ladies and gentlemen, you can do it vertical and you can do it horizontal, yeah. But you can't do the transition part. So on my left hand side, I can prepare for the next transition, but if you're doing that dual screen, yep. Oh, chat is the only reason why she stream.
Oh. So the chat's fun. We're having fun tonight, right?
Well,
chat?
Well,
can I get an emote in there? Can I get a?
Well, okay. She makes a good point. So, chat is the only reason why she streams, and so that's why I kept my chat vertical. But I know we're in this generation where everybody has this.
Yes.
And so the chat is kind of like, I know we're from a different time.
Yeah.
And we're trying to cross. I mean,
love the emotes.
What would it look like? How can it still be effective? I mean, you're kind of saying, take it out, but at the same time, we have like, my kids, and they in their 20s, they want to see those chats popping up. We're in the engagement group. We'll chat with you later when it comes to vertical.
We can shift everything, right? We can shift everything up and give ourselves a little window below that we can throw our chat in if we really wanted the chat in there, so it's somewhat seen.
Okay,
and we're gonna overlap it a little bit, but should the chat be like right over everything you're doing? Probably not, because then you're losing the reason you're streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's also dependent on what your stream is about. If you're just an IRL, we're just gonna go on stream and chat, and I'm talking to the chat just like we're talking right now, then show the chat.
Okay.
And at that point, if that's the case, then this window above, go away. We'll put you over there. This could be you talking to the screen, and then your chat could be along the side.
Okay.
So then this is you. Obviously, the chat's transparent, so it's not really going to take away from your face in the conversation, and it's just still showing up.
Got it. How do I know when I am ready to move from a tool like this to doing what you're doing?
Woo!
How do I know how do people know, okay, I'm ready to do this next step?
And
what all does it take to do that next step? We've had that conversation. I just want you to tell it to the audience.
If you're gonna take that next step, if you've built the community, you have support. Again, you have that community. You want to start leveling up your game, then you'll probably start reaching out to other creatives. You'll go on freelancing websites that offer services that can help you design your overlays and everything you need for stream, because you're leveling up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it could vary in price. Like, I've seen some people charge as little as $5, but you're getting very little. And I've seen other people charge you in tiers, and each tier gives you a little bit more hype. So, it's realizing, has my community built that much? Is this what I really am going to invest my time in? Then let's step it up. It's that, that serious come to Jesus talk.
I think that's where I'm at in my personal journey. Like, I know I can come in and use this, but like I said in our previous conversation, I'm always wanting to, no pun intended, tinker with a certain graphic, but I can't do it in this one.
Yeah,
I have to go into another platform to do it, but the time is of the. So that's the part that I struggle with is, with platforms like these, it's a great engagement tool to get you in and to get you being that creative person that you are.
Yeah.
But if I'm ready to take it to that next level and be like a huge graphic designer, the goal is, where do I figure out how to have that time to. So
and it's usually at that point you made the choice that you're going to start to level up, and you've given yourself a window, a time frame that within the next month, my game stepped up. So you're going to see all the old graphics transition to new graphics. But you gave yourself a time frame, right? It's not like, oh, tomorrow it's all going to be new. No.
Got it.
You'd love it to be that way, but we don't live in a world where overnight you're going to have the best graphics ever for your next stream. Like, you're planning it out. You're going through the design process. This works, that doesn't work. You might do secret test streams, like, hey, don't nobody chat with me right now. I'm just testing stuff out.
But that's the conversation we had beforehand. We talked about, okay, how do I know when to be Superman? How do I know when to be just the policeman? How do I know when to be just a civilian? Or how do I know when I need Justice League? That's the struggle, because you have that leadership or supervisor that loves what you're doing.
Yeah.
But they've thought that you've done this within 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
And it could be, I've done this in Canva. Sometimes Canva projects, as quick as it can be, you've done a great detail of work. Y'all, the stuff that I've done in Canva, like all the stuff that I've put together, this wasn't overnight. even though it helped me like do a lot of things quicker, this wasn't an overnight thing either. So it's one of those things that I would say I'm probably I'm probably Superman's sidekick at this point. So I'm not gonna call myself Superman. You're Superman. But I'm Jimmy Olsen at the moment. So
you're my best friend.
Yeah, I'm Jimmy Olsen. I'm the CW Jimmy Olsen because that Jimmy Olsen was a badass. Sorry,
you became the Guardian.
You sure did. So I'm there. But yeah, I think is it really about understanding, understanding the time when you're ready to go to that next level and learning what those tools do?
I definitely think it's knowing when you're ready, like knowing you've built the community, and it's almost in a sense, you might even have the community kind of like hinting like, yo, it might be time to try this on your stream and maybe change these, or and at some point you become friends with some of the community that come to your streams daily. So then you start to actually take into consideration what their opinions. Because if they're coming back consistently and religiously, then you have something there. And then okay, I'm listening to you guys. And you might even have a stream where you don't do your gaming thing, you do your education thing. You have a QA session. Hey guys, I'm thinking about rebranding. We've been on here, we've been on this journey for a year. I think it's time to step up our game. What do you think?
I like that. And I like what we did here too is we had this like a live brainstorming session. So it's almost like, well, what if I just put up something like, this ain't nothing fancy, yo. I'm just on here and I just want to talk through some stuff. Let's just build something. Yeah. It could be complete garbage, but I want my community to come together. We're on live stream right now and I'm just creating. What do you guys think? Does this work? Yeah. And then I've seen you do that on your streams.
Yeah.
Like I'm just up at night. It's 3:00 in the morning. I've seen you do that. It's 3:00 in the morning, and I'm just putting some stuff together just to get some on-demand feedback on what this could look like. Doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily use it, but I'm here to get some ideas on where I can go next level. Whether that could be in Canva, whether that could be Adobe, whether that could be in whatever. Yeah. I'm just here to play around to see what works, because what I see and what I like may be something different to what a viewer may see it and like. And it's not necessarily about me as the content creator. It's what the people like, what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you this question too, because I asked you this on the side. How have you introduced this to your students?
I don't. No, I'm just joking. Actually, when we're doing our fellowship program, I didn't know what to do, right? Like going into the esports realm, like I know video games, I know design. And I was talking to our buddy and I was just like, what if I did a whole lesson on content creation based off the skill sets that I know and the people that I've connected with and all that. So I started working through the whole idea of developing curriculum to teach my students how to design for the content creator. Because, Ninja wasn't the one doing the graphics. Mr. Beast wasn't the one doing the graphics. Kai Cenat wasn't the one doing the graphics. So why not teach them a life skill that they can use right out the door? So I started teaching them how to do that. And actually, I started, even before I got into the idea of designing for the content creator, I saw what was going to be happening. Like my spidey sense triggered with the idea of what was happening with social media. So I started to teach them how to design for social media so that they had an understanding. I'm like, here's another job possibility. Let me teach you these skills using this design software. And then obviously that now evolved into me teaching them how to design for the content creator, because what did these kids do during COVID? Watch a lot of Twitch and YouTube.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Well, let's talk about that. I know we're almost out of time, but I saw it too. I saw like there's this. I mean, it was always there. Yeah. But like there was a sense of, here is this new type of career that's coming up, and you could do it. You didn't have to wait till after you graduated high school. You didn't have to wait until after you graduated college. You could do it like, I mean, let's be real. We have like 7-year-old content creators that are making millions of dollars, and they're doing it on their own. And so, like, there are students who are wanting to learn how to do this now, and it is a skill set.
Yes.
And even in these industries right now, I mean, let's talk about it. In these industries where where the gaming industry people are, losing their jobs and whatnot, they have transferable skills that can take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that is the whole entire goal of this, is say, well, you may not be able to do this here, but what we just did here in this session today, that can take you somewhere else. And so I want people to understand that when you walk into a room and you see, like, literally, I walked into my son's room and I don't know what tool he's using, but he's doing some type of animation or something, and he's just dabbling, he's just doodling, but he's building a skill set. He knows how to do something with that could take him to wherever he wants to go. It doesn't have to necessarily be a gaming industry, but it could be somewhere else. So
the skills are transferable.
It's transferable.
Yes.
And I definitely have seen, like, this social media industry, this content creation industry become huge.
Yes.
Huge. And I don't know what it's like in your district or in your school, but it's like, how do we get this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna need him to stop with these emotes because he's making me laugh.
That's part of live streaming. We're doing it all the way live.
He's making me laugh.
No, we just gotta get the educated Lotus to subscribe.
Yeah.
Use the Amazon Prime, you get a 1 free month.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And on the side note, we had a conversation. But still, yeah, this it is a true skill set that people need. So, like, with your students, did you just say, take the wheel, go for it, or what did you do with them? Because you have an esports team, you have people doing content. Like, how did you get them started with this?
Well, design wise, I gotta teach them the basics. I gotta teach them the fundamentals, right? A lot of the content creation stuff, the social media stuff, I usually do with my advanced class, so they have a little bit more foundation and understanding. Like right now, my advanced class is designing a flyer for a fake collaboration between Ninja and Fortnite in New York City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they got to understand. I gave them Epic's whatnots and what you can do with their logo. I gave them the Bible of what you can and cannot do with Epic's logo with Fortnite. And they have to design a 16 by 20 poster for this event. So I'm kind of curious. I did this last year with my class. It was pretty good. I didn't get to finish my design because I was helping them with it. And I even told them, I'm like, I didn't get to finish mine, but if I get a chance, you guys better watch out. I'm like, because I have some ideas.
That's another thing you didn't hit on. I'm going to do another footnote. When you're working with companies, they have certain branding guidelines that they need. Even if you're going to do your own streaming, you're going to put your stuff out there. If you're going to use their colors, like, I now have my own branding kit. So if anybody says, "Hey, we want to promote your stream or do whatever," all right, here's my logo. Here are my colors. Here are my fonts. And that came out of me doing a webinar that I created. Like, here's everything that you need to do this. And I actually learned that with my Tech Chef group too. Shout out to Danielle.
What up, Danielle?
But putting that together, that helped me build my content stream. So whenever you see the purples, some of the purples are a little off, but like, I go to my logo to make sure that color matches everything that I need.
Yes.
And so do your kids create portfolios and books afterwards so they have something to show after they graduate?
Usually that's what I do with them the second semester. I start taking everything we've done first semester, maybe some of the good projects from introduction to graphic design, and we start laying them out, right? And I do a whole lesson just because I've been lucky enough to make connections through esports that I've been able to tag into some of those designers at some of the orgs and like pick their brains. and see what they're doing and how to use that in the classroom. So I teach them to like go on Behance and create a portfolio that tells a story about their projects. Not just here's my project, enjoy, but like the whole thought process, the thumbnailing to it, the why I did this, you know, all that story into an awesome one-page document that looks like an amazing pitch deck.
I need to learn Behance, and now I'm going, and I've actually started concentrating on my thumbnails too. That's another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, too. Like even on your streams, or even when you're done with your streams, like what is your thumbnail? What does your thumbnails look like? Are you about to share something?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your thumbnail look like, and how does it engage an audience? I've started to think about that kind of stuff.
Let me see if I can switch windows because the school district blocks it. It's COPA stuff, so it makes sense.
That's true.
And then I'll just switch windows.
Even for me, like I've stopped liking the way when a picture comes up after you finish, you know, doing a video, like, oh, I don't like this. I need to make my own content.
So I think you guys can see my screen, right? Or do you have to reshare it again? Okay. So I teach them how to design their portfolios so it tells a story. So it's all connected. It's seamless. Like I tell my story of how I came up with these designs for my esports program this
year. This is in Behance?
Yeah, this is in Behance.
Okay.
So I try to keep it all smooth, one like transitional page so that everyone sees it. I mock it up so you can see what it looks like if it was on social media. But I teach them this.
What's the learning curve on Behance?
It's not that difficult. It's going into Canva, laying your stuff out, saving it, and then uploading it to Behance.
Oh, okay.
So whether it's esports or I'm doing a logo design project, I try to match what the business is about with the graphics that I use in my story.
So with the whole Fortnite and Ninja thing, were they doing this with this?
They're going to.
This is amazing. Look how this is so real world. Like this is what I need somebody to do. And they're walking away with the cool thing about this is that out of your class, they already have something that they're holding on to. So if they want to do an internship somewhere, or they wanted to show a local company, you know, a grocery store, a barbershop, you know, whatever that's local in the area, I know how to do this based off of my classroom.
Yep.
It does look super professional. In fact, we need to do like a second stream on how to do this. I never thought about. Now you're making me want to step it up and like just because this is I didn't know you could do this.
Yeah, and look, like I said, I kept it simple, right? That was our starting stream for when we played Rocket League.
And so where did you pull? Okay, I'm gonna ask that question real quick. I'm sure you've seen it. Where did you get the images from?
The internet.
Okay.
So obviously the internet, right? But the reality is that some of the companies have media kits.
Yes.
That have images you can use for whatever reason, right? And they're okay with those images. But I went in, you know, talking to my students, I'm like, yo, what are some kind of cool images or like sequences in Rocket League that we could use that hype up Rocket League, right? Okay. I went and I'm like, well, what's the font that Rocket League's written in? Like they write Rocket League in, and I found that font and I use that for the lettering. Where do you always have to use the fonts?
Where do you see that? I tried that, but where do you see that in Canva? Because that was my struggle. Like if Rocket League has Rocket League font, how do you find that in Canva, or do you do that in Canva?
You probably don't. I don't.
Okay.
I don't think Canva has it. Well, I don't. Now I'm on a different account, so now my Canva powers are taken away.
Well, while you're looking for it, the Educated Lobo is asking, how can you make my socials better?
Woo! We should team up. We should team up, Miles, and I could teach your student, do a lesson for your students. Is there a special website for fonts? Dafont.com is probably one of my go-tos. DAFONT.com. It has a lot of free fonts. And depending on what the game title is, I'll Google what font they use, and then I'll go see if there's a free version or a paid version, and see what the differences are. If it's like a subtle, like not noticeable change that I know the community won't notice, then I'll do it.
Okay.
But my eyes are trained enough that I can see the differences.
Wow.
So I'll be like, ooh, that's that, but whatever.
So, and I never thought about looking at kits. So how do I go about, we're like 1 minute over time, but this is so intriguing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those who want to stay. Until I start saying I'm out of questions, I'm out of questions. I didn't think we was going to go this long. I never thought about actually going in to look at kits. I've done that when being in TechSef and like going and looking for kits, but that was because quick, we had an event and we got to do this and this and this. But on my downtime, like just if I'm wanting to make my own brand and pulling stuff together in doing kits, like how would I find that? Where would I need to go? Like go to Riot and type in kits and see
what's stuff like, for free. Blizzard Media Kit. And then here's our press center.
I don't know if you're sharing that or not.
What? Why?
Because I'm looking. We're on the stream one. So sorry. Okay. Okay.
That's weird that it's not showing my other windows. No. Okay. Cool.
Okay. We're on Blizzard. Okay.
So I typed in Media Kit in Google. So I typed in Media Kit, Blizzard Media Kit.
Okay.
I do not know how to spell Blizzard, but it's fine. And then there's your press release. So then I switched over and found the game title because it's going to give you everything, right? All their titles that they have. So you click on it and then you start seeing what they have available. All their assets, screenshots, pack shots, logos, videos, artwork. There is a ton of stuff.
What about for other brands? Like, let's go with, I don't know why this is off top. Like I don't know, makeup brands. Can you do that too? Like, I don't. Would that work?
Let's
too?
See.
Again, I've been putting Pete on the fly all night.
Let's see if Maybelline has a media kit. Let's see. Well, here's Maybelline. Let's go to the bottom of their screen. Contact, safety, college, conscious. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they keep it hidden. No.
But you can't automatically use these media kits on like your stream or whatever. You need to be able to ask permission, correct?
Yeah, you have to have permission.
Okay.
And it also depends on to what extent your stream's about. Because then sometimes they're like, oh, well, you're not making any money, no big deal.
Mm.
And if you're a partner, then they're probably going to give you special partner kits that will give you their stuff in that sense.
Or if you're trying to partner with them, hey, I'm trying to stream. I would love to be a partner with you. I'm trying to do this. Okay. And
at that point, you're either going to mock up ideas using their logos and mock streams to show placement on how it would look like if you're teaming up so that you can pitch them the idea more and probably get a more successful yes.
Okay. So what about like if you're just doing a regular portfolio and you want to use, the Overwatch kit or the Maybelline kit? I don't
think they would care because it's just a portfolio. It's just showing that the idea is you're just showing your skills. So you designed a makeup ad and you're going to use their kit. I did a piece on Mookie Betts. And I grabbed the Nike logo and I threw it on there. I grabbed the Dodgers logo and I threw it on there just to demonstrate that if the Dodgers or a professional organization want to use it, this is what it looked like with all their partner placements.
Okay.
So.
But you're not obviously using it to like, oh, I'm here to sell or make money.
No.
And you just looked. I never thought about just actually looking up media kits, I would just simply
Google the logo.
Google logo and PNG transparent.
Yeah.
But actually going in and looking at the actual media kit of a brand, or even like contacting them saying, hey, you know, I'm doing a school project and I would love to use your media kit. I'm not here to sell it. I'm not here to do anything. But I'm here to just see, you know, what your actual fonts are. What are your exact colors? All those things. Yeah, it would be cool. This is I didn't expect to learn this much tonight.
You're welcome.
We need another class. This was not where I expected the stream to go to.
But it's a good thing.
It's
the unexpected.
It's a very good thing. It was about simple. Let me show you some things in Canva. That only took a couple minutes, but going through that thought process and understanding this is where it can take you. That is the other side of computer science that I want people to see. And you're exactly doing that. Yes, JP is no P. No, I don't call him JP. I call him P.
I am the letter P.
He is the letter P. Oh my gosh, man.
I know we really gotta do something with Miles, because I see him doing his content creation lessons with his students. Like, we can tie this all in.
That would be awesome. Now he is gonna be on Friday the 3rd.
Ooh.
And I didn't plan it that way.
Nobody did. It just happens.
It just happened. So we had an interesting conversation that I cannot talk about on this show. But yeah, this was. I am so glad I brought you on here. But we're going to. Oh my god! See, the stream was not supposed to. No, he didn't plan. He didn't. Everybody, the questions were well thought out, and we talked about what we're going to discuss. But like, as he started creating and showing stuff. We have to keep it PG-13. We have to keep it PG-13. And oh my god, don't do that. FYI, y'all, the stream is not supposed to go like this. But just so you know, he and I found out about something about the game stuff. So I need to know what game you're going to be playing, because we need to no pun intended test that out, tinker that out, because there was me and my son had some issues. He had some issues. We need to figure that out. So like, we played
Rocket League earlier, and you can watch the play, but there was no audio.
So we need to figure that out. But anyhow, this has been a great session, everybody. We had a lot of laughs. I learned a lot. I didn't plan for the session to go like this, but it was even more than what I even hoped for. You guys, where can people like get in touch with you? I know how to get in touch with you.
Yes, you do.
But where can people reach out to you and contact you?
We might just who knows? But that's a great lesson in shoutcasting, right? Like, bad boys, what you gonna do?
Okay, that's not a bad idea. Like, what does it mean to shoutcast and just watch some I've actually thought about that. I've actually thought about just like putting on something just random and just sitting there talking about it. I wanted to do it with my daughter, because we talk about how things are so problematic and with certain things, and we're just side talking. It's great to have like a 20-year-old kid and we talk this adult talk. But that, Miles, is not a bad idea. Like, just watching something and just shoutcasting.
Or chickens crossing the road.
We might have educators on here like, what are they talking about? I haven't talked like this since Esports EDU. Oh, and that's been a minute. Oh my goodness. And that got really spicy on that one. Miles is gonna get me in trouble on Friday.
Woo.
I'm gonna be banned. I'm gonna be fired. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you know, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop the stream. This has been you know, I'm only pausing because I'm trying to get to my other stream so I can just say, hey, thanks for watching. But no, really, honestly, this has been great. I've enjoyed this so much. P. We're gonna have to figure out how to do a part 2 to this, for sure. He's putting his information in.
Yeah, I dropped my socials on there. The Art of Pilo is all my creativeness and my arts and sometimes the graphic stuff. The VPHS graphics, that's my classroom. So you get to see what I teach, but the students doing it. And then the esports side is the conglomerate that I'm still fighting to keep huge and supported. So, you know, anytime, Miles, anytime.
Yeah, right. He does now. Everybody, you know where all of this amazing work comes from. And yes, I have commissioned him to do some more work for me. So you guys need to make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to my channel and all my social media, because when you see the art, that's all. See, that's all him. So now you know when you see the artwork, where it comes from. And again, the guy is amazing.
I'm not too shabby.
Yeah. So, you stay on, P.
All right.
I gotta transition over to say my last couple stuff, but I appreciate you. And
Yes,
guys, y'all please follow this guy. Follow him on Twitch. Follow him on all the channels. I'm gonna put more of the show notes on when I edit all the stuff back together. But this was another great CS Week Game Edition session. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it was hard for me to keep myself together, but I hope you guys learn a lot. And yes, we got more stuff to come. So tomorrow, you are going to learn how to be a little bit more interactive from Deb Fuller on how to plan for a game design. So I hope you enjoyed the session. And as you can see, I am trying to get to the streaming ending part. But yeah, Clever Like is gonna be huge. So I can't wait for you guys to see all the other hosts, especially Deb, for tomorrow. You guys take care, and I will talk to you soon. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Bradford Harris, also known as EdTech Tinker on social media. Thanks for watching my streams and connecting with me on your favorite social media platform. On my platform, I love sharing all things digital learning and fluency, STEM, esports, gaming, and so much more. Connect with me to like, follow, and subscribe at link.space/@EdTechTinker. From there, you can connect with me and subscribe to your favorite social media channels such as Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram, and also my website, tinkertechedu.com. Make sure to follow me to stay up to date with the latest posts, streams, and video content. You can DM me for any networking, presenting, and professional development opportunities that are virtual or face-to-face. You can catch me live at least twice a month on some of your favorite platforms, but I'm always excited to show something very new and exciting just for you. So whatever your favorite platform is, you want to connect and go to link.space/@EdTechTinker. Follow, like, and subscribe. Excited to meet with you and chat with you. Talk to you soon.